Welcome to Rob's Strings and Things, where I talk about and play various guitars of mine, other stringed instruments including bouzouki, banjo, oud, and a very nice auto harp as well, which we've had recently, not to mention ukuleles, of course. Anyway, so today I'd like to show you a guitar that I've built over the last year or so. I built it for two reasons. The first is to have a guitar that's very light, that I can sit and play on my knee without it really gouging into my leg as some of the electric guitars do. Some of them are very heavy, especially over a long period of time. And the second one is really came from an idea of a friend of mine who's got some guitars and was wondering how easy it would be to switch from one pickup to another. And at the time, it just seemed the only possibility was buy a new pickup, get your soldering iron out, and get the old one out and solder the new ones in, plus a few other little adjustments, etc. Which is a bit cumbersome, and then if you want to change it, you've got to do the reverse thing and then put another one back in. It's a bit of a faff, really. At the time, I didn't know of any guitars which had an easy, interchangeable pickup system in them. I think there are 2 or 3 on the market at the moment, probably very expensive. I think one of them costs over $7,000, so it's not something for the hobbyist like me, probably. But anyway, so I took up the challenge and said rather rashly, well, I'll just build one. And then, of course, it took me a year to sort of build the prototype, and the prototype is here, and here it is. It's called my Quick Change Pickup Guitar. It's, first of all, it's very light, and secondly, of course, and most importantly, it's easier to change the pickups in, and I'll show you that in just a minute. How's the guitar constructed? Well, it's a headless guitar, it's a bolt-on neck, it has a mahogany back, and it has a laminated plywood front, which brings up really quite a nice sort of laminated look. And there it is. Okay, so there it is. Okay, it has a tone knob here and a volume knob here, and a tiny little micro switch. And this micro switch switches in a different capacitor, and I put this into the electronics so that I could actually get a higher end output with higher treble frequencies in it. So instead of the 300 microfarad capacitor that it would normally have in, this can be switched to a 30 microfarad pickup, and you'll hear that when I give you some of the tone tests. So here it is. It's a very light guitar. It has pins for straps, of course. It's at the ends of the guitar, but also because I like to play it on my knee a lot, I built a knee rest, which is this thing here, and this simply just slots into the guitar there, so it looks like that, and then this just rests very comfortably in your lap and makes it very easy to play, and very comfortable guitar to play. You're probably thinking, well, how long does it take to change the pickups? Well, I've got 2 pickups so far. The one that's in it at the moment is a humbucking pickup, but it also allows you to turn off one of the coils. So, and that's achieved simply by pulling up the volume knob, which is just like that. So I can just pull that up, and then that takes out one of the coils to produce a more trebly single coil sound, as opposed to the humbucker sound when that's pushed in. So there it is. So there it is. And you're probably saying, well, how easy is it? How long is it going to take him to change these pickups? Well, the pickups are built on in a cassette. Each cassette is made specifically to shape of the pickup. And so I'm just going to change a pickup from the one that's in there to another humbucking type of pickup without the coil splitting opportunity. So I don't know how long this is going to take me, just a few seconds probably. That one's out. And that one's in. So there it is. I don't know how many seconds it is. You can probably count that on on your screen. Anyway, so there it is, and I'll just do the reverse. That one comes out, and that one goes in. So there it is. This is easy as that. Just a matter of seconds. And of course, you can have as many pickups as you like. The one I'm going to make next is a Telecaster bridge pickup, and probably then a Telecaster neck. So I particularly like the sound of single coil pickups. So now I'm going to play you some tones on this guitar. First of all, just straight tones off the guitar. No effects. You know, I've never really understood why people get their nice new guitars. They wind up the distortion like crazy, and then they play this blisteringly awful grunge type of music, and you really have no idea what the pickups are like at all, except, yep, they can make a hell of a lot of noise, and it sounds pretty rough. And why they do that? Well, I have no idea. It's kind of a macho thing, I think, really. Look at me, how loud and nasty I can play. But that doesn't really tell you anything about the pickups. So I'm going to play this straight through into my digital audio workstation, which is Reaper, by the way, which is a fantastic digital audio workstation. Really great value. You can get it for free, but it's probably worth getting a license for it for about $50, $60, $70 because it's brilliant. And so I'm going to play this just through straight into the interface, into the digital audio workstation. So it's as clean a sound as you're probably going to get. What else? Well, then after that, remember I made this guitar very light because it's also, I made it so I could play MIDI-Guitar. And I do that through another fantastic piece of software. Again, really great value. It's called MIDI-Guitar, strangely enough. And enables you, obviously, to play virtual instruments by playing the guitar. So it's genuinely now a MIDI guitar playing through this MIDI guitar software. And I'm going to give you an example of that and how well this guitar triggers off, if you like, the MIDI sounds that are loaded up onto MIDI guitar using a number of virtual instruments, of VSTs. And again, all these are either very low cost or free, and as I sort of load them up and play them, I'll tell you where they came from. If you want to find a fantastic site for finding VSTs, both for instruments and effects, go to VST4 numeral VST4 free. Fantastic site. You can spend hours searching for every kind of effect you like, many instruments, many of them, and if not all, as the name says, yes, they're free to download and load up onto your digital audio workstation. And of course, Reaper has very few, if any, instruments on it, so you're going to need some VSTis actually to load up onto Reaper. But Reaper's a great program. It's I've had it for a few years now, record a lot of things on it, and it produces really, well, it has capable of professional results. Whether the musicianship I give it is anywhere near professional is highly dubious. Anyway, so I'm going to plug the guitar in. I'm going to play the various tones from both, and I'll switch the pickups in the middle so you can hear the difference between them. Okay, so I'm going to play a few tones on the guitar. I hope it's probably on now. I'll just check it's on. Just going to click into having it on here. So I'll just click Reaper on. So first of all, I'm going to play with the coil-splitting pickup, but as the humbucker form. I'm going to have the tone knob fully on and the volume about halfway. And this guitar has also got a little micro switch, as I said, and I'll show you how that influences the sound very easy. So I'm just going to play a few chords, and you'll hear what it sounds like. So that's the tone. I'll just slack off the tone to about 50% there and just mutes it a bit. Okay, now roll off the tone knob completely, go again. Now I'll switch on the low capacity capacitor. There's a little micro switch down here. Switched off. On. So there we are. So those are the various tones you're getting with this pickup. So I'm now going to switch it into single coil mode, using the coil splitter here by pulling up the volume knob. Okay, and just need to turn up the volume a little bit because we've just got the one coil on now. And the idea behind this, obviously, should have a brighter sound. So this is the sound now with the tone fully wound up. Okay, so you obviously got that's a very typical single coil type of sound. I'm going to wind down the tone knob about 50% again and just play that again. Now 50% to fully wound down tone. Just flip the little toggle switch. Turn it off. Okay, so that's the coil splitting humbucker in all modes, etc. Now I'm going to switch the pickups, so you can see again how easy this is. So that's one out, and that's the other one in. And now we can just simply give you some tones on this pickup. Again, it's a slightly higher gain, higher resistance humbucker pickup here. No coil splitting possible on this. So here it is with the tone knob wound fully up. Now with the tone about 50%. Now fully wound down tone knob. Flip the little micro switch. On, off. So the micro switch is off now. So that gives you a range of tones that you can get with this guitar, with both separate pickups, and different pickups will give you obviously some different tones to play around with. Obviously the cassettes, and here's obviously the cassette of the coil splitter. There it is, it's a cassette, and it's sufficiently thick so that you can actually put even some active electronics or some electronics into this cassette, as well as the electronics, of course, that's sitting in the body of the guitar. And just to give you, we'll just flip this one out for a minute. Flip this out, and as you can see, when taken out, it's just this cavity in the back in the guitar that goes all the way through. So the cassette's fairly big, but I say that gives you scope for very different types of pickups in it, and also some different types of electronics if you want actually in the cassette of the pickup itself. Okay, so now I'm going to play you some tones, some things, because I want to use this guitar obviously for playing MIDI and using the MIDI-Guitar software. And so I'm going to give you some examples of that. I'll just pop one of the pickups back in. There it is, that's in. So now I'm going to play you some of these sounds that you can get out of MIDI-Guitar and some of the free, just a few of the free VSTs that I've been able to pick up. I'm playing this through this software, MIDI-Guitar, as I say. That itself has its own sounds, some synthesizer sounds, piano sounds and things like this. But when you've got that on, you can also select to add to it any other VSTi that you have. So it'll play drums and rhythm off this guitar, as well as all sorts of instruments and synth sounds, etc. So I'm just going to demonstrate a few for you now. Okay, so we'll start with a piano sound. This is Balthor's Grand piano. Again, it's a free software. It makes a fantastic sound. I think it must be a sampled piano sound, but it's a very nice sound, Balthor's Grand. So I'm just going to play this for you. Hopefully it's going to work. Oh no, I have to turn it on. So turn that on and turn this on here. Should be armed. Okay, so I'm just going to play Balthor's Grand piano. Or not, as the case may be. Here we go. Okay, so that's Balthor's Grand piano. Could have played that a bit better, but sorry about the messing about. Anyway, so I'll switch now from to one of the VSTis, free VSTis produced by DSK. Now DSK have big suites of VSTis, and you can buy packages of them, but they also allow you to download quite a lot of their maybe earlier versions of VSTis for free from their site. Again, they work very well. So what I'm just going to show you is electric keys. This one simply just has a sort of Oberheim sound on it, and you'll probably hear this now. So that's electric keys, DSK VSTi. You can find the website. So here's another DSK VSTi. Now just switching very easily from one instrument to another. They're all loaded up underneath the MIDI-Guitar software. So this is a saxophone. Which one is it? Oh, it's an alto saxophone. So here we go. So, alto saxophone, they've got 3 other saxophones. You can just pick a tenor saxophone here. Okay, saxophone. So that's that one. We'll just put another one in now. So the next one is DSK Choir Z. Again, another DSK VSTi. Don't worry, don't get any sponsorship from them, but I'd like to promote them because they're fantastically good VSTis for a lot. You can pay an awful lot for a package of VSTis. Anyway, so what was this? Okay, so yeah. Oh, this is a choir sound, that's right. So obviously all played off the guitar. Okay, this is one which is not a DSK. So lots of, I think, brilliant people are creating more unusual instruments. This is just an example of a marimba produced by Alan Vista. Again, you can find that on VSTis for free. And again, it's called Marimbaphonic. So I'll just turn that on. And again, we'll play this on the guitar. Okay, that's Marimbaphonic. Alan Vista, thank you, Alan, for that. Brilliant, something I like to put in the background of some of the things I record. And finally, DSK strings. So this is a package. It has lots of options on it. It can play simultaneously both, say, a violin part and a cello part. Excuse me. And and you can choose violin, cello, viola, contrabass, etc., and either individual instruments, single instruments, or sections like a violin section, etc. So this one I'm going to put on one of the two lines you have. I'm going to put some violins, and then obviously contrabass playing pizzicato. So that's turned on, so we'll have a listen to this. Okay, so there's some examples of this quick change pickup guitar playing through MIDI-Guitar software, playing various VSTis that I picked up, and then obviously being recorded onto the DAW Reaper, which I said is a fantastic piece of digital audio recording material. So here it is. This is the QCP quick change pickup guitar that I've built. I'll be playing a bit more of it for another video, I'm sure. If you're interested, put a note below. And finally, thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate it. Hope everything is okay with you. Bye bye for now.